Hello everybody, welcome to beautiful and historic Savannah, Georgia. Now behind me and all around me is the historic and one of the most notable cemeteries probably in the world. This is Bonaventure Cemetery. Now this is a very historic place. There's a lot of notable names here, a lot of interesting gravestones, markers, architecture. This place is one of those kind of places that everybody who enjoys cemetery and history has to visit. So we're going to take a look around the cemetery. I'm going to show you what I see, and we're going to look for some of the more interesting and notable people here. So let's go. Now, not only is this cemetery very historic, but the land is also very historic. This used to be a plantation. Most of the land here was part of a plantation that was built around the 1750s, I believe, and it eventually became a cemetery. And there's a lot of different sections to it. There's tours that go around. I tried to take one today, but they were all booked up. Things like that you do have to book, it seems like fairly far in advance, especially if you come and visit on a weekend. But there is a place called Bonaventure Tours, and they hooked us up with a map of the cemetery, so we'll take a look. This is the grave of Noble Jones. Lived from 1702 to 1775. Official physician. Traveled with James Oglethorpe. In 1742, he built Wormslow Plantation, surveyed Savannah, Georgia, and he organized Savannah's first local militia in 1751. He was originally in Colonial Park Cemetery and brought here to Bonaventure. This is the final resting place of Edward Telfair. He was the first governor of Georgia. Passed away September 17th, 1807 at the age of 64. Edward Telfair. This is just one of many examples of some of the beautiful stones here in Bonaventure. Edward Paddleford, 1799 to 1870. Pretty impressive monument. This is the grave of Richard Arnold. Lived from 1808 to 1876. He co-organized the Medical Association of Georgia, Savannah Medical College, and the American Medical Association, and he also served as mayor of Savannah from 1842 to 1865. Here is little Gracie. This is Gracie Watson, one of the more known grave sites here. That is a life-size statue. Gracie Watson was an only child. Her parents managed the Pulaski House Hotel, where the charming girl was a guest favorite. The morning after Easter of 1889, she died from pneumonia at just 6 years old. In 1890, the sculptor John Waltz carved this life-size marble statue from a photograph. It's captured the interest of passersby for over a century. Little Gracie Watson. And they have this one fenced off because it looks like in the 1960s, vandals came in here and broke the nose off it. So that's pretty sad, but that's why we can't have nice things. This is now blocked off, but it's beautiful. This is just beautiful. This is the grave of Rufus Lester. says a gallant Confederate soldier, state senator, 3 years president of the Senate, mayor of Savannah, member of Congress, true to every trust. Now the interesting thing about this grave is that it is said that there is an iron rod that extends into the ground through the center of the obelisk, stabilizing it from hurricane force winds and earthquakes. 30 feet underground. Julia Denise Backus Smith. August 12th, 1946, December 22nd, 2003. Here's something kind of different. There's a fence only, and it looks like they have underground crypts right here. Wimberley Jones Dereny, 1853 to 1916. Underground family plot. This is pretty incredible. What an amazing place. This cemetery is just massive. And honestly, you could spend all day here and still only see a small percentage of what's here. Just an incredible place. This is the Colonial Garden over here. Colonials at Bonaventure. It says Georgia was the last of the 13 colonies settled in 1733. It was a time of trial and hardship and called for persons bold in spirit as well as resilience to the hard life that came with pioneering. In this section we honor 13 of those men and women, most whose remains were removed from earlier burial places and have been placed in this hallowed ground at Bonaventure. We salute them as well as their fellow colonists for their contributions in settling the colony of Georgia. All were important to the founding of this great state. There's Peter Wiltberger. This fencing, you can tell, has been here for a while. They don't make things like this anymore. There's J.M.B. Lovell, 1827 to 1875. Right here is one of Savannah's most famous people. It's the final resting place of Johnny Mercer, legendary songwriter. Lived from 1909 to 1976. Won multiple Oscars, Grammys, Golden Globes. John Herndon Mercer and the Angels Sing. It's the family plot here. George Anderson Mercer. I should also note that Bonaventure Cemetery was prominently featured in the movie Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil back in 1997. Now that film was directed by Clint Eastwood and is based on the book We're back in the car now. This cemetery is just absolutely massive. And I think we're going to come back on another day when we can book a tour so that I can show you properly what, the different sections and where everybody's at. The map is a little overwhelming, but this place is just incredible. There's history everywhere you look, notable names. It's just a beautiful, beautiful place. That will do it for today from Bonaventure Cemetery. We'll call this part 1 because we will definitely be back to show a lot more of this place. And just the feel of this place and the history is just incredible. So thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe if this is your first time here for part 2 and all kinds of other historic and Hollywood related videos. But thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next video. Take care, everybody.